Well, welcome along to Hong Kong Direct, your one-stop shop for everything Hong Kong racing related. Really interesting show coming up for you this week, and well, let's take a look at what we have got coming up on the programme. We're going to take a look at the Hong Kong International Sale. It is fast upon us, and might we just unearth another star of the future like we have seen this year, courtesy of that horse Romantic Warrior and Felix Coetzee. He'll be looking back on a memorable moment over the last 25 years here in Hong Kong. So first to the international sale here in Hong Kong. It's a sale that brings together horses purchased in both the northern and southern hemisphere and brought to auction here for Jockey Club members every year. And I'm pleased to say that an integral part of that team is now joining me here on the line on Hong Kong Direct. Danny Rolston has been hired as part of the team for the international sale, the executive manager, International Sale and Owner Advisory Services. Danny, many thanks for joining us as you join us from hotel quarantine. And first off, could you just explain the role as it is now that you're new to the Jockey Club, and you're very welcome to be here as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and firstly, very excited to join the prestigious team at the Hong Kong Jockey Club. My new role is predominantly focused on the running of the international sale, so overseeing the procurement of the horses throughout the world and their subsequent management and education, and then sale at the international sale, which we're seeing in just a little over a week's time.
Indeed, yes, thoroughly looking forward to the sale, of course. Obviously, there's plenty that goes into that. Just from your point of view and on you personally, Danny, just on your experience, because there'll be people out there watching the show, I'm sure, that perhaps aren't too au fait with Danny Rolston. You've got a rich history as far as bloodstock's concerned, most recently with the New Zealand bloodstock team.
Yeah, that's right. My early experience was in the equestrian field, so from a young age, I rode ponies and then rode quite competitive show jumping, and that led on to a jockey apprenticeship and rode professionally for a little while out of my apprenticeship, and then did some travelling internationally and ultimately coming back to New Zealand to join the team at New Zealand Bloodstock, which I was a member of for 18 years and progressed through to management of their sales division and subsequently becoming a member of the board of directors there also.
Absolutely. Well, there's plenty of ties, of course, with New Zealand, always here in Hong Kong. What elements of this job, Danny, are you most looking forward to? Obviously, it isn't just about the sale itself. There's obviously a bit to go forward post-sale as well. What are you looking forward to most about the role?
I think it's really international. It's the opportunity to learn more about the industry as a whole, rather than just the corner of the world where I was sitting. So ultimately, Hong Kong's really a melting pot of the best bloodstock from all around the world, and the opportunity to plug into that and such an important facet of the club and the international sale is just really invigorating. So really looking forward to having something to do with acquiring the stock from all around the world, and then supporting the members with some great opportunities.
And talking of obviously acquiring the stock, we've seen a lot of very good horses come through that sale. Craig Ransfeld and also Mick Cannan, two men that you'll be working quite closely with.
Yeah, and I've had a little bit to do with Craig. I've known him over the years through his association as a bloodstock agent in Australasia, and I've never met Mick, obviously, but I think it's an excellent team that's already assembled, and the writing's on the wall, really, with the graduate success with most recently, obviously, Romantic Warrior coming out of that same teamwork. So really looking forward to working with these boys.
You mentioned obviously Romantic Warrior. I mean, we've marvelled at him all year and what he's been able to achieve. What's been your take on him, Danny? I mean, from an onlooker watching on and thinking, well, you know, I'm going to make it over to Hong Kong very shortly. What he's been doing is quite extraordinary.
Yeah, look, he's a proper world-class horse, and I'm sure any international Group 1 would be a race that he would be right at home in. And you know, he looked the goods going into the Derby and took that, and then to go on to the QE2 and do what he did there is really cemented him as a proper athlete. So no doubt he's world class. So, great timing for me to be able to come into this role and have such a Hall of Fame that there is for the sale already, and then also have him who's so current.
Just on this year's sale, Danny, we've got 19 lots catalogued. They've come from all different corners of the globe. What have you made of the horses that have been acquired for this year's sale? Obviously, you probably haven't had time to really get out there and see them in close quarters, but what have you made of them as far as on paper it goes?
Yeah, look, I haven't had the luxury of inspecting those horses yet, but it's certainly one of the things I'm most excited about once I do break the quarantine here. Look, I've just been really impressed. I've been able to go through and do some pedigree research while I've been here in the hotel and look at all the videos and photos and read the subsequent information about the horses. And I've got no doubt that it's a really strong lineup of 19 horses there that will certainly be in strong demand come sale day.
Your opinion will be valued, I'm sure of. Are there any standout lots in there for you, Danny, at this stage?
Yeah, there's a few there. I think the Exceed and Excel lot number 8. He's one of the only two-year-olds in the sale, and Exceed and Excel's just been an amazing stallion. He's one of the few shuttle stallions that's been able to work both sides of the world, and certainly made his mark on Hong Kong with some really good horses like Mr. Stunning and the likes. And he looks like a beautiful, well-balanced horse, and I'm sure he won't take long for his new owners to get up and running. And lot 19 by Teofilo, he's another stallion that internationally has done very well in both hemispheres, and he looks a beautiful looking horse, this lot 19. And Teofilo is another one who's done superb in the Hong Kong environment with a Horse of the Year and Exultant already. So I'm really looking forward to getting in amongst it and seeing these horses in the flesh, but those were a couple there that really stood out to me on initial look through the catalogue.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we look forward to seeing the sale, of course, and what those horses can go on and do. Danny, look, it's been great to chat to you on this week's show, and really looking forward to meeting you in person, of course, and hopefully the sale is a roaring success, and the runners that are sold from that sale can go on to plenty of success here with your advisory role going forward. Many thanks for joining us on the show, Danny.
Thank you.
Well, many thanks to Danny for joining us on this week's edition of the show. And don't forget, if you want to tune in and watch the Breeze Ups, you can do so from 10 a.m. this Saturday morning, courtesy of the live cast on the Hong Kong Jockey Club website, and the sale as well on Saturday the 9th from 10:30. You can tune into all the action there from the international sale here at the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Let's take a look at the diary. This is what's coming up in the next couple of meetings here in Hong Kong. We've got a Friday fixture coming up this week, and it is, of course, Reunification Race Day, with the big race coming up at 4:05. It's a Class 1 sprint over 1,200 metres, and the likes of Nervous Witness and co will be lining up in that, along with Master 8 as well. Back to Happy Valley on Wednesday, and off to Sha Tin the following Sunday there on the 10th of July. But as we leave you on this week's edition of the show, we're going to share a memorable moment with a certain Felix Coetzee. You can also go to the website and take a look at the memorable moments put together from the last 25 years of racing here in Hong Kong. Many thanks for joining us on this week's show. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.
Silent Witness was just supreme. He was one of the great athletes. Silent Witness, he had the self-confidence, he had the ability, he knew he was good. Just like his Chinese name, Master of the Elite. But when he came out here, it was all business. Leading up to that, I was going to the start, and in the stand they had this massive screen of Silent Witness's colors, like a big sheet, and the people were waving this. I'm not an exuberant kind of expressive person, but the moment got to me. People gave me that confidence. With that kind of support, we were unbeatable. We had to get a good start. And Silent Witness, he would give me a signal every time we were in the gate. He would shake his head like this a little bit, as if to say to me, don't hold my mouth too tight, I'm going to fly out of here. And he did that again.
Felix Coetzee, it's up to him, it's up to the horse. They're off, hits the gates well, silent witness, Planet Ruler's going to park behind him.
And of course, he launched out of the gate when it opened, and we got a very good jump. And he was just cruising in front of them.
But silent witness, I'll never see anything like this again in my life. 17 straight, stand cheer, applaud the best because he's just...
But that moment at the end, where I punched the air and we've done it. So the most memorable moments was when we got to the winning post. We've done it. That feeling of, yes, the record, the triumph. And I looked back at the crowd and everybody was just like cheering and screaming, and it was really very, very special feeling of we've done it.